Hi guys, welcome back to the channel as we continue our renovation of the caravan. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. When we bought the caravan, it had been in storage for 10 years, and one of the things that we found out was it pretty much only had one previous owner. Now, in the last episode we talked about the wood rot under the van. Now, one of the things we found was that it had quite large gaps, and the wood was exposed in a lot of areas from the road. Now, as I mentioned, the underneath part, the floor was in great nick, but this problem we found was around the wheel arches. Now, so when we got the edging off and everything off, we could see that around all the wheel arching, when we put the new wood in place, it was literally all exposed. So you can see when you look down through the top of the wheel arch from the inside that we still got this really big open space which is exposing all of the timbers, and that's probably the main reason that we did it. Now, I did give it a good coat of paint, and we used a aquatic paint like one you would use in your bathroom, purely because that's got a lot of moisture protection. But after we had done that, screwed it all in place, we decided that it needed more, and it really did need wood protection. So one of the things we did was, you can see the edging where the wood would go, where the wall would go back into place, and we decided to give it a metal wall. Now, with the metal wall, what that was we got some stainless steel, as you can see here, and then we cut it, bend it, and got it into the right shape to represent the outside of the wheel arches. That was a fun task. Now, I know you could go in, well, hang on, that's going to come down over the wheel. Well, at this point in time, yes, it will come down over the wheel, but we wanted to cut out the final shapes and put it into situ, as you can see here, with it actually in place. So we got it really perfectly aligned to prevent the water getting in and damaging the wood again. So we use a lot of sealant in there, and you can see how we've protected the actual wood. Now you can't see the wood, and that protects the van. Not only does it do that, it also serves to protect it. Now, on the inside, we gave these some wooden covers. Now, then we got and replaced all of the old 12-volt wiring, because it's a 1985 Windsor, so the 12-volt wiring was really old. So we also wanted to replace all the old tail lights because they're the old bulb variety and they were faded. You can see how bad they are, and they weren't in a good spot. So they all came off, and we took out all of the old tail lights, the old wiring was gone. We put an extra support behind it so that we had something to screw in rather than just screwing straight into the skin of the van, which made a big difference. But yes, I know I missed with the staple gun, but there's enough staples in there for it not to be a problem. Now, in one of the previous episodes, I mentioned that we treated all the wood. Then we actually put the walls back on. You can see where the wires are from the walls, but we wanted to still be able to access all these with the taillights once the furniture went in. Now, the difference between the way we built a van originally and the way it's built now is that all the furniture we're about to show you that we built is all modular, so it can all come out. So here's our new tail lights, which are all LED tail lights, and we added an extra set up higher, so I'll show you that in a second. So there's the windows back in, so we've got one here down near the bottom, and then we go up over our pipes, and then there's another one. Yeah, I know I need to give the van a bit of a clean again, up higher. And what we found was, when you go round roundabouts, councils decide to put in all these pretty gardens, makes it hard for people to see your indicators down low. Then there's our new outside power, and our new LED lights, and we also replaced the outside. There goes the oyster light, and it was replaced with this small LED light, which was much better, pumps out a huge amount and doesn't do it. Anyway, as I mentioned before, we marked all the walls where all the wiring was going, because the last thing I wanted to do was accidentally staple through the wiring, particularly the 240. There's not much 240 left in the van, but there is some 240 because we didn't take out the oyster lights in the ceiling. And so all the walls had to be marked, top, sides and everything like that before they went into place. Otherwise things weren't going to fit where they were supposed to, and that was going to make it very challenging. So I used a primer by Dulux, which was a pre-step, because we were using 3mm ply to replace the walls, and they got cut out in easy shapes. The primer allowed us to actually soak in, so it was easy. Then tip, when you've got other kinds of paint in your thing, put a label on it so you know it's caravan paint. So here's our first piece of furniture. So this is our footlocker, which is going around the edge of the base. So we have two of those. So here's one, so you can see, as I mentioned before, we put the wood over the wood arches. So that's so that we can screw our modular units into place using little metal brackets. And that builds the frame. It means that if we want to change anything, we can take things out, we can modify them, and then we can put them back in. It also meant that I could paint some of the stuff outside of the van, but it's great new storage. So we actually use that now to put the annex in. So the annex actually goes into there, and the awning does too. So as you can see, once it was fitted and fixed and checked, it all came back out, and that's the first coat with the primer of the same thing, and then that's me coating the inside with a nice cream colour. Now, these little cupboards here were added in, and they're really interesting because they gave us extra storage, and we recycled some of the other doors that we took off the caravan. But I'll tell you more about that in a later episode. So stay tuned, because next episode we'll be building the bed.